Howdy folks, and welcome to our Northwest Registered Agent Review for 2024. This video is for anyone who's thinking about forming an LLC, whether it's for your first business or your 10th. Now, we covered a lot of ground when testing for this review, and some of the results kind of blew my mind. We'll get into all of that, but the main question we're going to focus on today is, should you use Northwest Registered Agent to form your LLC? Quick intro, I'm Ethan, founder of LLC Fit. Our goal is to help you break through barriers and finally start the business you've been dreaming of. If this video helps you in any way, give it a thumbs up, and if you like what we're doing here, hit that big old subscribe button. Let's jump right into this review. We'll start with pricing. Now, Northwest doesn't do tiered packages like some of their competitors do. They offer one service, and that is their standard LLC formation for $39 plus state fees. Now, $39 is already a good price, but check this out. We worked with Northwest and negotiated a pretty sweet discount. Right now, our users get a 25% discount on Northwest's fee. So instead of paying $39, you're only going to be paying $29 for the standard LLC formation. The only way to get this discounted price is by using our link in the description below. And alongside of that discount, you're also supporting our team. So if you do that, we really appreciate you. All right, before we get into what you get with that standard formation, we need to briefly talk about state fees. Anytime you form an LLC, no matter how you go about doing it or what company you use, you're going to be charged the state's filing fee. Every state's fee is different. The low end is around $35, the high end is around $500, and the average comes in somewhere around $95. You can find your state's fee on llcfit.com/LLC, and we'll put that link in the description below. Remember, no matter how you choose to form your LLC, there's no escaping state's fees, so just make sure to plan for it in your startup expenses. All right, let's get back to the pricing. Northwest standard LLC formation is $29 plus state fees, and with that, you get a couple of extra features. First, and absolutely most important feature is their registered agent service. A registered agent is the person designated by your LLC to receive legal documents and state notices on behalf of your business. All states require LLCs to have a registered agent, and you can either nominate yourself, a trusted individual, or a third-party service like Northwest. The main benefits of using a third-party service are threefold. First, your personal information won't be listed in the state's public records, and we like privacy, so this is a plus. Second, since your address isn't listed publicly, your mailbox isn't going to be stuffed with mailers and advertisements from companies that are marketing to new businesses. Third, and this one's a little bit lesser known, but the registered agent is technically required to be physically located at the registered office during all business hours. Now, I don't really see many people following this rule, but it is a law, so that's why we always choose to use a third-party registered agent so we can get away from our desk. The next feature that comes standard is a reasonably quick filing time. Depending on your state, the time it takes to submit all of your paperwork and complete your filing is between 5 and 19 days. And there's an option to make this even faster, but we'll come back to that in a bit. Anything less than 2 weeks without paying for an expedite is a pretty good time, so we chalk this up as a win. The last notable feature of the standard formation is an operating agreement. An operating agreement is an internal document that outlines the structure of your LLC, so things like ownership, voting, member duties, and other operational items. This document is only required in a handful of states, but it's something that we recommend all businesses have, so the fact that it's included is another bonus. That's all that's included in the standard formation package, but there's one more thing I want to highlight before we jump on to the other features, and that's privacy by default. Northwest really cares about keeping your information as private as legally possible. And we'll talk more about this in the pros and cons section, but it's worth mentioning that Northwest just feels different than other LLC companies do. I don't know how to properly describe this, but working with Northwest feels like I'm shaking hands with somebody I can trust. As to where working with some of the other LLC formation companies, I feel more like it's just a transaction and that I'm just a number in their system. Take that for what it's worth, but that's just the feeling I get, and it's nice. All right, now that you've heard me wax poetic about trust and handshakes and all that fuzzy feely stuff, let's get back to the cold hard facts and talk about the features that aren't included in the standard package. The first feature we're going to talk about is a BOI compliance report. A new law called the Corporate Transparency Act is requiring all new LLCs and corporations to file what's called a beneficial ownership report with the federal government. The report is technically free to file with FinCEN, but Northwest offers to file this report for you for just $9. Yeah, $9. That is single-digit dollars. Now, this is something that when I was doing the testing for this review, came back and actually surprised me. Some companies are charging like 5 times this amount to file this report. And that's something that we're going to continue to see with Northwest, is that their features are very well priced compared to their competition. Next up is an expedited LLC filing. Now, Northwest offers 2 different levels of expedite. The first one takes off 2 days from the total filing time, it costs $35. The second one takes off 4 days from the total filing time, and that one costs $75. This is a reasonably priced upgrade if you need to get your LLC up and going super fast. The next feature is an EIN, or Employee Identification Number. An EIN is kind of like a social security number for your business. You need it for things like opening a bank account, hiring employees, paying taxes, important stuff. Similar to the BOI report we talked about earlier, you can file to get an EIN for free with the IRS, but this is just something that they can take off your plate, and they charge $49 for this service. Something else to note about their EIN is that they offer to get you an EIN even if you don't have a social security number. So for people that aren't in the country or don't have a social security number for any reason, they can help you with that. It costs a little more and takes a little more time, but it's pretty sweet that they have this feature. Next up, we have a pretty interesting option, and that is S Corp election. Electing your LLC as an S Corp changes the way that taxes are levied against your business when it comes to things like revenue and profit. Next up is their premium mail and virtual office services. I'm going to lump these together because they are pretty similar. The premium mail service is $20 a month on its own, and the virtual office service, which includes the premium mail, is $29 per month. Premium mail is essentially a mail forwarding service. Basically, you get to use Northwest's business address instead of your own, and whenever they receive mail, they will forward it to you or scan and email it to you. The virtual office service gets you a physical address with a private suite number in a staffed commercial building in your state that also comes with the mail forwarding and a business phone number. This is a great option if your business requires you to be out of the office, but you still need a physical address that's not your home. All right, we're not going to cover the business identity and trademark services in this video. Business identity is essentially web services like a website, a domain, an email address, and the trademark service is pretty self-explanatory. They will help you to trademark your business name or logo or whatever. That's it for the features that Northwest offers, and I know it's a lot, so if you'd like to see it laid out nicely in print, you can check out this video's companion page on our website. We'll put the URL on the screen, and we'll also put a link to that page in the description below. All right, let's start with the pros, and the first is the price of the registered agent service. As I mentioned earlier, Northwest gives you the first year of the registered agent service for free and then renews at $125 per year. $125 is a great price for registered agent services. Some of their competition charges $199 or even $250 for what's essentially the exact same service. Second, there are only a couple of companies left that still offer the first year of service for free. This used to be something that every LLC company had, but year after year, fewer and fewer companies offer this, and so Northwest gets a big thumbs up for this. The next pro is fast filing times. We looked through all the states, and the longest it takes to form is 19 days. Now, 19 days is longer than I'd like to see, but the few states that are this slow seem to go hand in hand with the actual state themselves being slow, so this makes sense. The shortest standard filing time, on the other hand, is just 5 days, which compared to other companies is super fast. In these states, if you use the expedite, you can get your total filing time down to 1 day, which is pretty sweet if you ask me. The next pro is a personal favorite of mine, and that is their marketing. And no, I'm not talking about the design or the words on their page. I'm talking about the minimal aggression of their marketing efforts overall. Something that truly sticks in my craw is when I purchase a service and the next thing I know, I've got 20 emails in my inbox telling me about all the things that I still need to buy. Northwest just doesn't do that. Their checkout process is simple and straightforward. You're offered each service at a time that makes sense, and it's explained well enough for beginners to understand exactly what you're getting. They also aren't jamming my inbox full of bloat, which I truly appreciate. All right, now that we've talked about all the good stuff, let's get into some areas where Northwest can improve. The first con is that they just don't offer a $0 plus state fee formation. This is something that became popular in the LLC formation space a few years ago, and so far, Northwest has resisted to create a free package. And while I personally don't mind paying $29 to make sure that my inbox isn't assaulted, I can understand that somebody on a shoestring budget would maybe rather pocket that money. All right, on to con number 2, and in the beginning, I said that some of the results from our tests surprised me a little bit, and here's where it starts to get a little weird. I just don't see any other cons. When I saw my draft of this review and the only downside I had written down was the absence of a free package, I went to dig deeper and I just couldn't find anything. The only thing I saw was that some users noted a difficulty in getting a hold of customer service, but we just didn't experience that. Now, I know it may sound biased, but I have personally used Northwest for all of my LLC since 2019. So honestly, I hope that if you're starting a new business that you just use Northwest because it makes this part easy. You need every part that can be easy to just be easy. All right, that's it for the pros and con. Let's move on to the summary. At the beginning of this video, we mentioned that we were going to focus on one question, and that question was, should you use Northwest Registered Agent to form your LLC? And the answer, you probably guessed it by this point, Yes, you absolutely should use Northwest to form your LLC. We rate Northwest a 4.9 out of 5. That is a solid A rating. Northwest ranks #1 in our best LLC services for 2024 for some pretty obvious reasons. As for which features you should use, we recommend that you use the $29 plus state fee formation, and remember you can only get that by using our link in the description below. Add in the BOI report for $9, it's just a no-brainer. And if you like things simple and tidy, let them take care of the EIN for you. You can skip the business identity features, and as long as you're not in a fire hurry, you can leave the expedites out as well. With all this, you're in for less than $90 plus state fees, and you have a great jump on your new business. All right, folks, I hope you got a ton of value from this video, and if you did, hit that like and subscribe button. I want to hear about the businesses that you're working on, so give yourself a shout out in the comments. I've been Ethan with LLC Fit, and remember, if you want massive results, you have to take massive action. See you, folks.